what kind of a world are we living in where Counter Logic Gaming at 0 and 3 looks better than both of them?
Yeah,
Which something's going on.
It's really hard to talk about CLG because what they're doing well at right now is not even like what I feel like their strength should be. Like when you look at a team that's a bunch of veterans like this, they should theoretically be good at closing out games, have a good idea of how to play the game throughout it, and then the early game should be something that will be like contentious. But they're actually doing well early game, but it seems like they have no concept of how to close, and I just don't know how this happens when you have so many veterans on the team. Like this is like people have this mentality that Wiggly's a young player, right? Or he's still on the younger side, right. But dude, this is his third year in LCS at this point, right? Like if you're a third year veteran, Wild Turtle has been in LCS since I was in LCS, dude. Like same thing for like Smoothie, right? Like Smoothie was even on one of my teams. So like the fact that this team can't figure out how to play proper macro in a lot of situations is worrying. But the only saving grace, like I know I was kind of memeing about Broxah coming over. The only saving grace is I think that Broxah, even though he generally was not the most like aggressive pather, I don't think that he's gonna make the massive like int paths that Wiggly does. Like I don't, because the things that happen to Wiggly, it feels like he just randomly tries to make like an aggressive play out of nowhere, and it screws over the entire game. So the game that we have up here, the CLG versus TSM game, were you watching Wiggly's pathing in that game LS where he went red side on Udyr, completed his red side, and then he just walked into the enemy blue side where he knows the Olaf most likely has started there. So he ends up being so far behind on his clear, he just loses 1 minute out of nowhere. And because then he's pathing like in this weird way, his camps are spawning in weird orders, he's no longer able to control Dragon. So like the way that CLG is supposed to win this game is you're not going to win team fights versus a Moonstone Lulu later on, right? Like that the whole point of the champion is that like it'll be able to buff the 80s carry, buff whoever on the team that's strong, and makes them really powerful in team fights. And the counterplay to that is being able to play side lanes. So CLG had the ability to do that with Camille throughout most of the game. I mean, eventually once Azir has like 4 or 5 items, he can obviously control the side lane or play the side lane against Camille. But the problem was that CLG just gave this free soul like win condition to TSM by losing the first 2 drags that TSM has no business getting. Yeah. Like if you're running Xayah, Leona bot lane into Thresh Aphelios and the enemy team has Udyr, I don't think that you get any chance to get those first 2 Drakes. Like the Aphelios Thresh should just have pushed the entire time. So it's so criminal that TSM actually gets to get their Drake win condition in this game without drafting for prio bot side and playing a jungle matchup that's like even to losing early.
There's a couple things. One, the most important thing I'd like to point out, okay, before I dive into like Griffin's pathing and all the other stuff, is the graphic that we currently have. I think it's really impressive that even here Finn is choosing still not to participate. So before I just wanted to throw that one out there. But no, yeah, I think that obviously the third dragon one was really erroneous. They went for 2 turrets instead of like contesting the third dragon. That one was really, really weird. But they were still in a winning game state when they ended up winning the next couple of dragons, right? Denying a soul point. They were still definitely winning. And then Finn, there was the game from the day before where Finn, I actually tweeted it out, I believe. Finn had the game won. There's a Nocturne Paranoia where the enemy AD carry can't see, right? Short-sighted. And Finn can just flash body slam and
yes.
The AD carry.
Yes.
And he doesn't go for it. And it is the weirdest thing where I just don't know what's happening. Also, Finn had the game in the game when Zoe goes for the teleport. All Finn has to do is just press R on Azir. He doesn't actually need to go for the E because you press the R on Azir and then Zoe will get the bubble. 100% of the time, Zoe will get the bubble. So if that ends up happening, you win the game there as well. So there's like these really weird turn your brain off moments that it feels like almost anyone should be able to make, and he's not making it. And I don't know what's going on. But there was also that flank TP in like the third dragon where I think they win the whole game if he just doesn't stopwatch instantly. Like he E's over the wall, they're all like 1 HP.
and he ults, and then he insta stopwatches at full life when they have no CC, nothing on top of him. Where if he just lives that, that's probably Dragon and Baron. I mean, there was 2 times in this game where CLG had Dragon and Baron, and they just like chased for kills, or they made like a weird misplay, or they just decided to like push a turret instead. Where I feel like these should just be shot calls that every pro player is willing to make. Like, you know, when you win a fight that hard, it's like, all right, take Baron, take Dragon, just fucking reset on the map. And especially when you have a team comp like they have with Finn playing Camille that can play side lane, the Lulu will never be able to match him. If you get Baron, the game's just completely fucking over. So I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Everything was just really strange. I mean, the fact that they're all winning though is so bizarre. For if you're a TSM fan, I mean, I had those chain tweets on TSM. Things look really bad there, obviously. And on the topic of like if Broxah comes in, I don't know if I share the sentiment that Broxah won't just make these like random aggressive things, because I feel like Broxah flips a ton, and we saw what Broxah did when all of his lanes are winning, still managed to be invisible. And while CLG is like having some winning lanes here, I don't know. I'm envisioning like these like really weird things where he's gonna like go for like needlessly forced ganks that require opponents to totally blunder, and then nothing happens. Then he falls behind, and then I don't know. But
I feel like he'll be able.
He's a really nice. Hey, he's a gentleman.
He's nice. Yeah, he's nice. But I also think that like his preferred playstyle kind of works well with like what people are doing these days, where you're literally like full clearing on cooldown, super basic into Dragon. I feel like he's just generally the type of person that like he's comfortable with that type of playstyle. I just don't understand why Wiggly feels the need to make things happen when he already has an advantage. Like if you're Udyr versus Olaf in the early game and you're playing on blue side and you have a stronger bot lane, you should just be completely happy to start your blue buff. Like, you're not going to... Ganking the Lulu, sure, you might be able to get a gank off, but Finn could completely play that lane out by himself. Like, you should fall behind in lane. It's Camille versus Lulu, but he could take Fleet Footwork, Second Wind, Doran Shield, and you can just chill in the lane, and he can just play towards his bot lane, Thresh Aphelios, and they can just get that buffer where they no longer will be forced to team fight once their team comp falls off. So I feel like Broxah won't int pathing that hard. Like, I don't remember him ever griefing his pathing that hard for like an invade. He doesn't seem like the type of jungler that would like try to invade and like get a camp advantage as much as the type of jungler that would like maybe try to like get a gank off that doesn't do anything, which I feel like won't be as punishing in this meta.
I have one thing just ingrained and burned into my memory. I remember arguing with Loco about it, right? Where you went into Pro View and Broxah like sees the opponent finish the Gromp. And he's pathing to the Gromp to like try to smite steal it, right? Sees the guy finish the Gromp and then keeps going into the Gromp. And then it's not a good series of events. But I remember Loco like trying to defend it, that he just might not have seen the Gromp, but like the Pro View shows that he sees the Gromp. So it's like, it's really weird. But I don't know. I mean, sometimes he does these things, and it just doesn't make any sense. But I feel like Worlds is like, I don't know. But also, when does he even get here? There's only 5 weeks of LCS.
Yeah, true.
Right? And he's had zero scrim practice. I mean, they might just end up running Griffin the entire time.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and just be like, hey, this is our spring split. I mean, this is very similar to the same situation that Broxah had on Team Liquid, where the season started. They rolled with the Australian god himself, Surenfire, the biggest bully ever, to bully everyone in the lane, and then tried to come in and fix the chemistry afterwards. Didn't quite work out for them.
Hey, thanks for watching VENN Esports. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below and explore other videos. In fact, click on the ones on the screen right now. This one and this one. This one was pretty good, but this one's like my second favorite. My first favorite